Did you just finish the new Fallout TV series and you're completely lost and don't know where to start in Fallout 76? Or maybe you're a seasoned Fallout veteran, but 76 just feels insanely different yet similar to you, and you need a little bit of guidance. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys, the beginners or the people just starting in Fallout 76, some very important information that you need to know if you want to play this game long term and actually enjoy the game. And there's a lot of things that really mislead new players, and I don't want you guys strayed the wrong way. The first thing I will go into is the item shop, because I know it's going to be talked about a lot. I would check the item shop daily, as there is usually free things, which is indicated on the left side of the screen. Go over into utility and you can see sometimes you just get free lunch boxes, which is really cool. But while we are on this screen, let's talk about the utility tab, because this is very important. We have lunch boxes, we have scrap kits, we have repair kits, we have score boosters, re-rollers. We have all these things that people may get confused about. Now, re-rollers are actually for your weekly and daily challenges, allowing you to get different ones for different rewards. Score boosters increase the amount of score you get for your battle pass, and you have scout banners, which will also give you and nearby enemies various combat effects. These are some fun, lasting things, but the very problematic ones is when we go into the repair kits. The repair kits are absolutely insane. These will repair your power armor, your weapons, your armor, and this costs real money. This costs real world cash to repair your gear, armor, and weapons, but it is 100% not needed in Fallout 76. These may be enticing for new players, or the flip side of the coin, these may be a huge turnoff that they would offer these type of things, but you do not need them. You could always repair anything in the game with farmed for resources, and the farmed for resources honestly aren't that hard to get in the first place. There's many different guides on YouTube and different locations you guys can go to farm said resources, but for a quick example, I will show you guys over here. So if I wanted to repair something like my chest piece, you'd go into your armor bench, you would click repair, and you'd have the option to use repair kits for free. Or you could workbench repair with screws, adhesive, leather, steel, ballistic fiber. All these different things will change depending on the armor piece. Playing the game, scrapping a bunch of junk, and all that jazz is a surefire way to make sure you have the necessary junk to repair all your gear, and the repair boxes are definitely not needed, so don't go thinking you need to spend real world money to enjoy Fallout 76. But if you guys don't want to spend your time on the wiki, going on YouTube and looking for a bunch of things, if you're missing a resource, you can simply click tag for search, and when you're looting anything in the game and you're looting buildings, doing missions, getting all the junk that you need, it will show on the item before you pick it up a little magnifying glass saying that if you scrap this item, it will contain the resource that you need for whatever you need it for. Just a quick little tip, figured I'll throw that in there. And another thing that really bothers a lot of new Fallout 76 players is honestly the screen clutter. Early on, you guys are going to be getting a ton of missions pop up on your screen, and quite honestly, it really annoys me to the point where it almost makes the gameplay experience not too fun. But really quickly, all you have to do is go into your Pip-Boy, go over to the data section, and uncheck all of these. You could always do them later, track them when you want to track them, but it easily and quickly clears up all that stuff on your screen so you guys can focus on one thing at a time. Speaking of junk on your screen, when you guys get junk out in the wilderness, I highly recommend you make frequent trips back to your camp so you can stash it into your stash box. You can just go in here, quick bind, store all junk, and put it all in there. The reason I say this is when you die in Fallout 76, you don't lose your items, but you lose all your junk. And like I previously stated, your junk is the most important thing in this game, as it's the only way you can craft bullets, the only way you can craft armor, the only way you can craft medicine, explosives, and repair all the things that you're going to wear. Junk is the #1 resource in Fallout 76, and you want to keep it safe at all times. This also applies to PvP, so if you die in PvP, those other players are willing and able to take all your junk that you've been farming for. So make sure you make frequent stops back to your camp and make sure it's all safe. Another resource you're going to find yourself just running through is StimPaks. It's Fallout, it just happens. But with StimPaks, you cannot craft them until you complete a certain quest line. You could loot them, and you always really get them from doing any quests, but what I would recommend early on is once you get a chemistry station, you don't need it in your camp, you'd always get a chemistry station in random areas. you go over into healing and you go to diluted. Diluted just takes purified water, which is very easy to get. Just get some dirty water and cook it at a campfire. And then you will be able to dilute your StimPaks, your Ride Away, and your Rad X. Like the name entails, it dilutes them, making them less effective, but you get more uses out of it. So as you see in the bottom left, I have a little bit of radiation, but I don't want to use all of it on a full-on Rad Away, so I'm going to use a diluted one. And as you can see in the bottom left, it's going to dilute it just enough to where the red is halfway there, and then I could use another one. There's a lot of times where I barely had any radiation and I want to top myself off. I will simply just use a diluted one, because if you use a normal one, you're going to be wasting them. It's the same story with Rad X and definitely StimPaks. StimPaks give you a nice burst of health, but if you have diluted ones, if you just want to top yourself off or get a little bit extra healing during fights, it is definitely a viable option. And really quickly, I will touch on the perk cards, the special perks. If you play Fallout, you know all about these. But the main thing I want to say is early on, the charisma cards are going to be your best friend, as they share the most important things, like inspirational. You'll get more XP when you're in a team, and if you're playing with your friends or if you're just joining public teams, it will allow you to level up faster. Another thing there is going to be your travel agent, which gives you a 30% fewer cap cost when you're teleporting around the map. And trust me, you're going to be teleporting very frequently early on in this game. The first 20 to 30 levels, you're going everywhere. You're zippity doodah everywhere around the map, and I highly recommend you get travel agent. Just your first few level ups, try to get the charisma cards, get your travel agent, get your inspirational, and hard bargain is also another great one. Buying and selling prices at non-player vendors are now much better. Players can have their own vendors and sell you things for their own prices. A lot of them are scams, being rude to new players. Other ones are actually great people and they're selling them for decent prices. But early on, you're really not going to know the difference of how much things are worth. So it's a great idea to get the hard bargain charisma card, because you could just buy it from NPCs and you know they're going to be dirt cheap. But I would even recommend, as a new player, stop teleporting everywhere. Yes, teleporting is convenient. Yes, teleporting is nice, but allow yourself to experience the map. Fallout 76 is a absolutely beautiful game, and honestly, exploring the game, listening to the radio is just almost half of what this game has to offer. It's really nice. It's a vibe. It allows you to become familiar where resources are located and where resources are spawning, so you could always remember, oh, I'm over at Horizon's Rest. I know that there's a bunch of buildings over here. You're not just zipping to every waypoint over and over again, because this map truly is freaking huge. And even though it's a Fallout game, your hunger and water are kind of important. You're not going to die if you don't have food and water, but as you can see here, when you're fully fed and fully hydrated, you get disease resistance on both sides, you get strength attributes for free, you get stamina regen, and you get maximum health. And you could actually boost this in your perk cards if you go back into our special. It is a endurance perk, the endurance perk called Rejuvenated, where you get better benefits from being fully fed and fully hydrated. Very, very good, very important, and I recommend it early on, because it's going to make that leveling up experience that much better. And always take note of this stats tab within your Pip-Boy, because honestly, you never know, and I see a lot of new players walking around with mutations, with diseases, with parasites, and they didn't even know, and then they sit here wondering why they are getting two-tapped by basic enemies, and then they proceed to wonder if their build is bad, is their armor broken, and they don't know why. This effect tab will tell you everything you need to know about your character, and I know it sounds simple, it sounds very elementary, but it's so important that you keep up with any active buffs and debuffs you may have. And for my final tip of this video, and probably the most important tip for Fallout 76, is take the game at your own pace. I know that may seem very basic and very, once again, obvious to take the game at your own pace, but the beauty of Fallout 76 is finding what you like to do, finding what you specifically enjoy, taking the path that you want to take, using the guns that you want to use. Do you want to be a cannibal? Do you want to go guns blazing into buildings? Do you want to be a stealth character? Do you want to use bow and arrows? All these questions can only be answered by you, the player, and your specific playstyle. And honestly, that is what makes Fallout 76 so freaking amazing. But that's the video, guys. If you want to see more Fallout 76 videos from me, make sure you show this video some love, hit the like button down below, and spread out my content to more people in the Fallout community. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on another video. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching to the end. Stay safe, and I'll see you all later.